Hi, hi everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Live. I'll wait until I see that people are here. I am positioned really close to the visitor center, and I did have a pretty nice background. It's a little bit kind of overcast today, but the sun's coming out. It's a little like we went back in time to June gloom, but sun's coming out now. It was really quiet, and all of a sudden there's either road work or mowing going on, so I hope everyone can hear me. Hi Robert, hi Anne. All right, I guess I'll get started. Today we're talking about the popular painted lady butterfly. So that butterfly is in the family Nymphalidae, and it's the brushfoot family. Butterflies are insects, and it also has a scientific name, Vanessa Cardew, which is kind of a pretty name. The common name, though, is the painted butterfly, although some people call it the cosmopolitan butterfly. And the reason is because it's the most widespread butterfly in the world. I don't know if any of you were visiting March 2019, but it was a pretty rainy year, and we had a huge migration of these butterflies. Hi Mark and Leon. So let me just show you a picture of the painted lady, or the cosmopolitan butterfly. It's a beautiful butterfly, very detailed. And let me show you another picture. I wish, of course, as usual, that we had a butterfly here to show you, but they are not here right now. And also, neither really is the food that they prefer. It's kind of a little dried up at the moment. Here's one with its wings spread and eating. So if you'll notice, it has a body with 3 sections. So it has a head, and it has a thorax and an abdomen, and it's got antennas, and it has 6 legs total, but it only uses 4 of them. 2 of them are useless, and I don't know if they've just evolved to not use them, or if there's a hidden use that, I just couldn't find anything about. But if you're interested, that would be a great bit of research for you all to find out about those 2 unused legs. It also has a proboscis. That's that little thing that comes out kind of and does like a little twirl. That is like a big drinking straw, and that's how they get nectar out of the flowers. Their eye is compound, and you can't see this eye, but if you were to look closely at a butterfly eye, it's made up of 1,000 eyes. And that makes it able to see wide angles and a really large spectrum of flower, of different colors, and also it can see ultraviolet colors. So again, it feeds on flowers, and hi Jose, the interesting part about it feeding on flowers is that it's kind of picky. It has very specific things that it wants in a flower. So there's been some studies, and they prefer a certain structure, and the structure that it likes the best is clustered. So that makes sense, because then it has a lot to choose from, and it's right there all in one place. It also likes spiky. That's probably because They need to be able to stand on the flower to get the nectar. It has to latch on. Some of you may have watched the talk about sphinx moths, and sphinx moths can hover, but these butterflies cannot. So it needs a flower that's going to support its weight. And then it likes the daisy-shaped flowers, like the Encelia, and the one that's only 10% of the flowers it likes. And then it likes a large single flower. And so again, the flower it likes the least is a big single flower. Second least, you could say, would be the daisy. Second to the most is the spiky, and the most is the clustered. And it also prefers certain colors. So the colors it likes is the purple and the red and the orange. And the red and orange, it can't really tell the difference between the two. And the flowers that it likes the least, it doesn't like yellow flowers that much, and it doesn't like white flowers. So it also prefers a certain height. So it likes tall flowers better than low flowers, and that makes sense probably because of predation. It's a taller flower. So have you guys thought about which flower it might like the most, since it's picky? It is supposed to like flowers in the aster family. So those are the favorite flowers, aster. Now, if you were planting them in your yard, you'd have pretty good luck with malvas. Those are a native plant that looks kind of hibiscus-like, and you would also have pretty good luck with hollyhocks. Apparently they like hollyhocks. So any kind of aster is the obvious best choice. So these butterflies undergo a complete metamorphosis. So I'll show you a picture of the caterpillar. I could not get a bigger picture. So a complete metamorphosis is 4 stages, and the egg and the ovum is a barrel shaped, and it's kind of a mint green, and they lay them single file, like one right after the other, and they're as small as the top of a pin. And they're not picky about where they lay them. So they're host plants. They have millions of host plants. Well, okay, millions is an exaggeration. They have about 300 recorded host plants. Caterpillars, once they hatch, they eat what's left of their egg, and it takes them about 5 days to hatch. Once they hatch, they hang upside down when they're going to pupate. So after they eat everything in sight, they pupate, and they hang upside down, and they make a silk nest. You'll see it on top of leaves, stuff like that. And their pupa, or their chrysalis, is interesting because in 10 days it will start to hatch, and if it senses danger, it will shake violently. So I don't know if you've ever seen a chrysalis begin to shake, but that's why. And just before it hatches, like hours before it hatches, it turns black. So if you see a black chrysalis, you know it's about to hatch. And then a few minutes before it hatches, it turns clear. And when it's clear, you can actually see the wings inside the chrysalis. Now, once the butterfly hatches, it hangs off the bottom of the chrysalis so that its wings can dry, and it has to assemble its proboscis. Remember, that's the little tongue that it drinks. It uses like a straw to drink nectar in flowers. Another interesting thing besides that proboscis is that butterflies breathe through something called spiracles, which are small holes in their body. So that's where they breathe. And they are also cold-blooded. So that means that they use the sun to warm themselves. So when you see them with their wings really spread, like this picture, well, it's eating, so it's kind of busy in this picture, but in general, sometimes you can just see them on the ground with their wings spread, and they are gaining energy from the sun. They're warming up and getting energized. And when you see them sometimes with their wings closed, sometimes they're resting. So, you know, they need to conserve their energy and rest. So let's talk a little bit about their migration, because that's interesting too. They use the sun as a compass, and the sun sort of orients their direction. They like to fly in a straight path, and they can fly 100 miles per day, which is a lot, and they can fly as fast as 30 miles an hour. And their migration in California is north to west, but as we said, they're cosmopolitan, so they have migrations all over the world. And some of their migrations will take up to 6 generations. So 6 generations of butterflies to get from where they start to where they're going. And again, in March 2019 is when we had the huge migration here. And it has a lot to do with rain, and El Nino patterns seem to inspire them. And their migrations are erratic. They don't migrate every year, just some years. So there's been lots and lots of studies about these butterflies. Their courtship is, you've probably seen it when you see a couple of butterflies and they're just spinning around each other. That's what they're doing. They are courting each other. And the males don't have consistent territories. So, and they don't defend territories. So what they do is they kind of lay in wait. They find a location and a time that they feel like is going to be successful. And the females will suspend their flight to, it's called oviposting. And another interesting thing in the winter, because they continually mate in all seasons and during migration, so all the time. And one of the interesting things in the winter is that the females will fly into the rain because it activates more eggs. So they have what's called a high biotic potential, which just means that they produce large numbers of offspring. As far as predators go, they have a lot of predators. Snakes, lizards, rodents, birds, dragonflies, wasps, spiders, ants, you name it. They have a lot, and their 2 defenses are that they are somewhat camouflaged. And that kind of camouflage is just meant to be really confusing, all those different patterns. And of course they fly, and flying is a pretty great defense. Their lifespan from the time they're in an egg, you know, the whole metamorphosis is 2 to 4 weeks, you know, so that includes the time that they're a butterfly. The time that they're just a butterfly is about 2 weeks. So they live about 2 weeks as a butterfly. And that's about all I know about these guys. But I think the main things that are interesting is they're picky about flowers, and also obviously complete metamorphosis is pretty interesting. And I love the part about how their chrysalis change colors and shakes to ward off predators. And also their migration is sort of interesting, and the fact that they can do it for 6 generations to get from place to place. And I also like just the part about their being able to have kids all year long. They're busy all year instead of just in the spring, because we have so many animals that there's the spring season and that's it. So they have a lot of chances to have mini butterflies, which is again called, what did I call it? Now I can't find it. Oh, high biotic potential. So does anybody have any questions about these butterflies? If you guys want to have them in your yard, maybe try some malva, some asters, some hollyhocks, and they also, you can put water out for them in the hot summer. You can put a little rock in the water so they have something to stand on. And apparently they like a sliced orange too. So all of those things might attract them. And I think you're going to have the best luck in a rainy year, which is not this year. I think we're headed for a drought. So I guess that's about all I have. Hi Janice, hi Lorraine, and Patricia. Yeah, so if you guys want to add anything to this, be sure that you comment. And if you do research what those 2 useless little legs are about, do let us know. Okay, that's it for Lunchtime Live. Thanks a lot. Bye.